Hello everyone, I am the HalfWit Brit and this is Manor Lords, and as we fly across our town here, as the title suggests, we are being raided by a bunch of raiders, and there they are just hiding behind the forest thinking we wouldn't see them coming. I think there's about 18 of them. They're fairly well armed. They haven't got any armor, but they've got some shields, a couple have got helmets, but nothing too much, and most of them seem to be carrying the baseball bat from The Walking Dead. I forget the name of that now. He said, is it Negan's wife? I can't remember. Anyway, I digress. So, what are we going to do? Well, I think we have a surprise for them too. So, what do we have? We have 19 spear militia. Excellent. We have 20 retinue. Yes, I've invested some money there. Definitely, I had to do it. It was suggested in the comments. And we also have 28 of 29 archers. I think I also said in the last video, I wasn't sure if we were actually making them or not. So when we go over to the Fletchers, I couldn't see anything that was sort of going on here. I can see some planks and some spears in their storage. But yeah, I couldn't see, what they needed. Were they crafting any? It was suggested if I hover over the question mark, it would tell me exactly what they need. So there's a couple of, there's 3. But not one of them seemingly says anything, which is slightly unuseful, unless I'm missing something. But anyway, we have our army mobilized and we're going to hopefully make short work of these. Now remember, I'm using the experimental patch, so the archers should be a little bit better than the, I guess you could say, the live version of the game. Our retinue is currently here up at the manor. We have our spear militia just by the church, which is fine. Hopefully they will sort of get between the outlaws. I was going to say raiders, but I guess they're called outlaws. That will do nicely before they burn down any of our buildings. Now, I've never been raided before, so this is a literal brand new experience to me. I think I asked for our archers to go over here, so if I unpause the game, yes, we're going at normal speed. I don't want this to happen too quickly because I want to try and keep some level of control. Okay, I'm a little bit concerned. If they're there, why are they not moving? Hi liege, let's just double check. I think if we draw a line of them there, we'll have those on stand your ground, because I don't want them to necessarily do loads of damage. I just want them to kind of soak the damage up, I guess. And then we got our retinue, who are probably the strongest, to be fair. They're just a little bit further away, so we'd kind of have that problem. I might bring them in, let's think, because they can walk through the gardens of the houses, can't they? Let's ask them to try that again. I always use left click because I'm an idiot. Put them there, and then the archers, assuming they may walk down the road, they may come through the forest. I'm not too sure, but we will do a line of them here. And if I'm going to switch to shoot at will, we'll do stand your ground and shoot at will. I'm hoping they're going to be close enough, because it means they'll do a little bit more damage. If they're not, I'll switch this off. So, I mean, we vastly outnumber them, so I'm not too worried. It's interesting, I've told them to go over here, but they're sort of congregating in a very similar area. Very weird, but that is quite an epic sort of scene. Oh, I can hear people screaming. Oh look, people are running. That's pretty funny. Oh, here we go. Oh my goodness, is there... there's 2 groups. Wait a minute. Oh, now I'm a little bit worried. Why have my troops not... Why are they not out here? Come on. What are you doing? You're really worrying me. Let's get the archers here. Oh dear, what's going on? Let's put you there. Right, are they going the right way? What are they doing? Are they all meeting up together? Oh, I see a sheep. That was something we were kind of a little bit rubbish with on the last video, but I'll come back to that once we've dealt with this. Just a random scream in the background there. Someone is a little bit late to the party. Oh, here we go. Right, now we have something. So if we can... This is a really not the sort of area you want to be fighting. It's very close quarters. If we back off a little bit, there's a bit of space here, isn't there? So maybe if we do something like this. There we go. That's more like what I'd want. Hopefully they come for us and not the buildings. They look, yeah, see what I mean? They're being all squished together, which is really good. And I think in that case, let's get our archers sort of here. I'm assuming they can shoot over the top. And then we'll bring our retinue in from the side. Oh dear, here we go. Well, look, that's really useful for us. Okay, archers. Try and shoot from there. It's better than nothing. Hopefully some of them can get in positions. We've really been squished into a bit of a bottleneck here. This is not what I wanted. Right, now we have you guys. We will bring you in from behind. So that might work quite well. Haha, the archers are shooting. Perfect. Can we bring you sort of here? Because surely they can go inside this garden through one of the back gates. There is a lot going on here. Let's get a bit of a closer look. Oh my. There is a lot. Corpses near, recent losses. So we have lost, I think we had 20 retinue, didn't we? I think it was. Let's try and stretch out a little bit and stand your ground. These archers are having some serious issues here. See if we can get them around to a better position. It looks like we've wiped out the other people here, so... Oh, a new family's moving in. It's probably where we've lost some people. Can we... Oh, my goodness, this is... I'm really concerned if we have a major fight. I need to work on getting these controls right. Yeah, it looks like one squad's either run off or been annihilated. Oh no, oh they're both... No, they are there, yes. I see them now. So we have 8, 10, and 13. But we are... Yeah, our retinue is taking quite a beating here. Ah, there we go. Oof. And they run straight into our archers. It's probably the last group of people you'd want them to run into. But thankfully, when they run, they just run. And oh my gosh, let's just pause and... Oh, wow. That is absolute chaos. Yeah, well, that didn't go quite as well as I'd want it to, but we did survive. The retinue is a little bit of a concern, but I think where we got bottlenecked, I couldn't get my people into the decent position. So I guess next time, as soon as I know that the outlaws are going to be close, because if it gives you a timer every time, we can... have our soldiers sort of out and ready and not get caught in areas like this. Anyway, let's disband everyone and I think we need some corpse pits, I guess, to get rid of some of these dead people. Right, I've decided to build the corpse pit sort of on the edge of town. I don't want it too close, but I guess for me, anyone that tries to raid us again will just see all these corpses sort of buried at one side and they may reconsider. Obviously, we know our trader comes that way. But if we just whack that up to highest, we'll get that done pretty quick. I mean, there is a road quite easily to get there. Let's unpause the game. Oh my goodness, just added the chaos. They're just standing around them. I mean, I'm not surprised. Just that's madness. Albeit, you know, we got some influence there, I think. Does it tell you? Let's have a quick look. So we got influence. Perfect. So, right, what are we going to do today? So, I guess at the end of the last episode... or towards the end, we put our windmill in, which we now have. We have our communal oven here, which we will chuck someone in. And we also have some sheep, I believe. Yep, there's a couple there roaming around. The missing piece of the puzzle here was, if we come all the way over here, I think this is the livestock trading post. I didn't have anybody in here, so therefore we just weren't getting the sheep. So now that is working for us, which will... over a period of time start to give us wool, which will come and then turn into other clothes. The main thing that I feel like outside of taxation that is upsetting people is the lack of beer. So we've got two options here. We can either import some of the barley, isn't it? I think let's have a I think it's barley. My brain has gone. Yes, barley. Or we can consider, because we own this land over here, and we look, there is plenty of fertility for barley. In fact, there's some very, very close to the edge of town we're currently in. So, albeit you still have to trade it, it's still relatively close. So we have that option too. What's this? Berries. I really want a rich iron deposit. That's something else I need to sort of consider. We have a rich clay deposit, which is useful. Rich iron, we've got that one. There's a rich iron deposit there and some bandits, which I would say we'd go and take, but our soldiers will need to rest. So potentially some other options here. At least there's more than one rich iron deposit. So we have the 2. So hopefully we can get one of those before our friend the Baron over here does it himself. Oh, just looking at his troop movements here. 36 and 36. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I've never really gone up against him, so I don't know how that would kind of work. I'm guessing he's got a lot of stuff because he's not actually on the map. He doesn't have a village as such that you can go and attack. But he definitely has lots of troops that are moving in and out of the map constantly. It's quite disconcerting, to be fair. We also have someone in our charcoal kiln, so if we have a quick look at where we're at, we've got food for 10 months, fuel for 9 months, which is perfect. We're also paying that's our tax. So this is a new thing on the experimental patch. So this is based on population, I believe. So the more population, the higher this amount will be. You get all year to pay it, but currently we have 386. So it does come out of the treasury. It doesn't come out of the regional wealth. So how do you get regional wealth into treasury? Well, simply tax. So if you're taxing people, some of this money will go into here. Our tax is currently at 5%, I think, because we're sort of teetering around that point. Once we get more cloves and we get some beer or ale or whatever it's called, we will increase the tax slightly. I think we will be in a better place here, and it will also allow us to obviously to buy more retinue and upgrade our retinue, which we will definitely need to do. I was just having a quick look at the burgage plots that we placed towards the end of the last episode at the far side of town. So you can see we got the church here and the manor on the hill. They are now built, and with the exception of this one, oh, there we go, they have people in them. So there's an issue here. No access to food, no access to clothing. This one seems perfectly fine and is also ready for an upgrade. Aha, the food one's just disappeared as we looked at that. So if we double check, so no access to clothing. And this one has everything. So I don't know if the market's too far away, because it's about there in the distance. I don't know if it's too far away or whether we need another market here. This could be an ideal place for that. So we may build another market. How are we doing in the granary? Oh, we got 3 people in there. This is almost half full. So potentially do we build an extra granary over this side? Because we will be producing here. There will be a farm here. Obviously we'll have some vegetables and other things, chickens. So potentially we could have another granary over this side, and probably, I mean, the storehouse is fine, but potentially we could. But I think a granary would make a little bit of sense over here, just to sort of service this area. So we have a little notification here. Bodies need burial. Villagers required to be buried on hallowed ground of the church, while raiders may be dumped into the corpse pit. Make sure you have a family assigned to handle it. So we have a family in here, so that's fine. Is that what those are in the front? Are these? Are they graves? Quite possibly. I mean, it's not a lot of graves, but it's definitely some. Oh, yes. Okay, this has just not been built yet. That's the issue there. There's 13 bodies. Oh my goodness. Maybe let's whack a person out of here as well, which will just give an extra pair of hands for any of the construction needs. And I'm just looking around. I think Noble Rambler mentioned something. I don't know if it was in a conversation I was having with him on Twitter. Shouldn't call it that anymore. But old habits die hard. Or whether it was in a comment for the video. But we had a house here, and it was mainly for vegetables, and it was a bit of a strange shape, and probably not very good for the citizens that are living in there to harvest. Not easy anyway, so I removed that. We will rebuild something there later on. But yeah, I sort of looked at it afterwards and I thought, do you know what? He's actually right. We did put a house here next to the church, also with vegetables, which again, when you look at it, they tend to sort of work from the center and outwards. At least they do that on fields, so I'm assuming they'll do the same thing here. So this more square shape just makes a little bit more sense. You know what? I've never really actually sat back and watched them pull the carts. That looks to be firewood. What have we got here? Just transporting firewood. Yes. See, this is something I'd like to see more of in the future. I think if we got, because we have access to horses, as you can see, there's one over there. A horse-drawn cart would be absolutely perfect. Oh, I didn't even realize. Can we get inside there? Oh, come on. You can see the goods just on the floor there. That's quite cool. But yeah, I think later on an upgrade would be like a horse-drawn cart. Just so you can move more logs, like the bigger. I'm making words up as I go along in these videos, but just like, because at the moment we have the ox to move the logs, but just one at a time is not very efficient. So being able to move more at once, I think, just makes a lot of sense. Okay, so our clay pit has finally been exhausted. We will remove the family from here and demolish. So anything that was left, there we go. We can see the clay that was in there and the timber from the building is just sat there. So hopefully someone will come along and pick that up. That's obviously freed us up somebody. We still have 36 iron and only one family working there, so that's good. The exposed goods is because of what we've just done there. And if we have a quick look, have we built this yet? No. Oh, it's taking its time. I think it's just a hole in the ground, isn't it, really? So it's interesting it's taking so long. Bodies need to be buried. I don't know if that could be worded a little bit better, but maybe that's just me. As we can see, we're into March now, so the snow is starting to disappear. And we can see our field of wheat is poking through the snow there. Absolutely perfect. I'm just curious, while we're here, let's have a quick look at the fertility. Yes, so it kind of looks a little bit patchy, I suppose you could say. But we still have this area over here, which is quite yellow. So it'll be interesting to see what that looks like towards the end of the current season when we come to plant this again. I want to see how quickly it sort of recovers. I think these patches are actually the snow, so if we come out of this view... Oh no, it's where the snow has gone. Fair enough. But we will come back and have a look at that periodically and just see how it changes. Okay, the corpse pit is complete. I'm going to chuck in 2 families initially just to get rid of all these corpses because there's just too many. And while we're thinking about that, if we come across town, I'm losing my bearings. Where's the sheep? Here we go. So in the pasture, we currently have 3 of 49. I think we set our trade limit to 10 just while we were kind of keeping an eye on the money. And as you can see, we have wool. We don't have a lot, but if we come into here and build a weaver's workshop, we can start turning that into something more useful. I'm just thinking about where's best to put this. So there's 2 options here. I could put it anywhere I want. I could put it up here next to the storage, or if I put it sort of close by, let me think. So I think that's the forester, isn't it? I think there. And we have obviously the farm there for the sheep. I think if we drop it in here, and then if we come over to the large storehouse, I'm not going to do it just yet, but if we come in, we can tell it to stop storing wool. So my kind of logic there is that as soon as the sheep farm has some wool, well, there's only one place it can go. It's here. And even if it doesn't get transported to there directly, then I would assume the weaver will just walk across the road and collect it. So I'm just trying to minimize the sort of movements, because I feel like otherwise the wool will get taken all the way through town to here to only be brought all the way back to here. Now, you could say I could have just built that over there, which is true. And I guess the tailor is somewhere here. Yeah, there's the tailor's workshop. So there's still a little bit, but there's so many different ways you can do this. But I'm just trying different things because I want to see what works best. I mean, I suppose in an ideal world, you'd have the tailor next to the pasture here. And also the weaver's workshop. So it'd all be in the same place, but then it needs to get to the market. So, yeah, somewhere along the line is going to be sort of inefficiencies in your transportation of goods. But I think it's just finding the one that works the best for you, or whatever makes you happy. I think that's the key thing. I've never ever seen this before. Oh my goodness. The corpse is completely wrapped up. I mean, that woman, my goodness, she has some serious strength. Look at that. I'm pretty sure I could not do that. That's impressive. And there's obviously, yeah, oh, there's a whole trail of these people. It's kind of eerie as well, isn't it? Look at that. Why'd you have to carry? Why is he even moaning about that? Is that potentially your wife in front of you is not complaining? What's wrong with you? Oh, I can only imagine what the smell is like as well, because they had been sat there for a little while. I suppose maybe with it being cold, they may have frozen, but hey ho. It's not a pleasant job, but somebody has to do it. I thought I'd just have a quick look at my retinue. So obviously we lost quite a few people. We were maxed out, so that's not good. So we have some options here. So the cost of 50 treasury, we can start hiring more. And we have these options over here. So we can upgrade their armor by importing it, which costs 34, or we can upgrade armor by buying it locally. So the cost is half, isn't it, basically? But we currently don't make any armor, so there is that option. We can also customize the way they look as well. Is this just the actual... Yeah, so we could make them all look the same. What I'd like to see here is when you customize one and you get it to your liking, to have like an apply all button, so you can make all your troops look the same. Or maybe an apply all to each individual option. So let's say you wanted them all to have... Let's find one that's got a shield. There we go. So you could say any that have got a shield, I want them to have, let's go with red and white. Yeah, I want all of them that have a shield to have this shield in those colors, and just click apply all. And just save you a little bit of time clicking through, and it'd make your army look a little bit more legitimate, let's say, for lack of a better word, rather than just a bunch of random people all thrown together with whatever piece of armor and clothing that they could actually get. I don't know, that's just my perfectionist side, I guess. That's just something that I'd like to see. Oh, here we go. The Baron is on it again. Oh my goodness, a region is being claimed. Which one is he going for? He's probably going for one that I want. Yes, of course. Even though they've sort of minimized it in this game, or slowed down how quickly he goes for these different territories, he's still got twice as many, or will have twice as many as me. So... use King's Favour, well, coming soon, so we can't do that. We can't negotiate. The only option we seem to have is resolve the claim on the battlefield. And just looking at the troops that he currently has, we would not stand a chance. So, I'm not sure what the best way to deal with this is, other than trying to claim the regions before he does. We definitely need this one, because I want the rich iron. I'd like the rich clay too, but definitely the iron. So, potentially, I mean, oh, I can claim it. I have 1,000 influence. Ooh. I'm going to do that. Like, two can play this game at claiming lands. So, I've not currently done anything with either of these. Now, this one's definitely going to be a farming settlement. Because we're just looking through all the fertility there is definitely green. There's not a lot. We've got a bit of emmer fertility here. A bit of rye. Yeah, so I think when we finally get around to building something in here and we have a look at our development points, we're probably going to go more this direction, because we'll want heavy plow. Potentially we could go with sheep as well, I guess. Probably want rye, that makes sense, and irrigation. So that's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points, and I think you get 6 points per region, so we are going to be sitting heavily in that direction, I feel like. I was just having a quick think about the whole beer issue. So currently taxation and unburied bodies are upsetting people. We're at 74%. It's not too bad. So I'm just having a quick look through here. So let's see. We need barley. And how much does that cost? 12 to import. Now we could pay for the entire route, but I think we may just go 20 and just let it come in as and when it does. We have 12 currently. How many planks? Oh my goodness, we have a lot of planks. So we could stick that back on again and leave this maybe at 30. We're not using a lot of planks right now, but it'll just bring us a little bit of extra currency in, which means then obviously we can start producing some ale slash beer. What do they actually call it in this game? Ale. There we go. For that to work though, obviously we need the tavern. We also need the the malt house, and then we also need one of the level 2 burgish plots to be a brewery. So there we go. So there's quite a lot that goes into that, but it will increase the happiness. And I think one of the changes in the experimental update is the consumption of ale. I think they've lessened it a little bit. So maybe just having 20 coming at a time may work quite well, which obviously when the approval's higher, you get better population growth, which is certainly what you want. as well as morale of militia. So there is something else. If we are going to be attacking things, there's not going to be many bandit camps left the way things are going, because there'll be no unclaimed regions. But we do have that option, and we also have to think about armor. Exposed stocks are getting soaked. Is that? Yes. Okay, it's some clay. I mean, isn't clay kind of moist anyway? I don't know if it makes a huge difference. We don't really have anyone else to put in here. People are running around transporting everything. Oh, there we go. So speak of the devil, and is someone coming up with a cart? Please be coming this way. I have a weird feeling. Yes, yeah, iron ore. Of course. Why not? How much iron ore do we have in storage? Okay, we have 95 iron stored. Well, at least in this storehouse. I'm not too sure why I can't see it up here. Very strange. Maybe I'm missing something. I'm not quite sure what the issue is there. But we do have quite a lot, and I don't feel like we're going through it that much. So where is... We have our Fletchers. We have our Cobblers. Blacksmith. Here we go. So you're currently making spears, which makes some sense. So who makes armor? Let's have a quick look. Aha, Armor's Workshop. So development branch missing basic armory. Oh boy. So we need this in order to do that. So yeah, can we reassign these points? I don't really want to click one to find out, but no, you can't. Oh, that is a bit of a sticking point there, isn't it? So you really have to know what you're going to go for straight away, because there's no going back. Well, thankfully I didn't put too much into these. The sheep, I may move to the other settlement, or the settlement that doesn't exist yet. But maybe this makes sense. So the main town can have the... What else do we have? A deep mine, and you see that's something else I'd want. So what are we in? 1, 2, 3 points. So 4, 5, 6. Oh, yeah, there is an issue there. So if I wanted to make pure armor in this area, I've already kind of ruined that by spending a point elsewhere, an extra point elsewhere. At least I think 6 is the max. I could be wrong, but I think this is the direction we will be going. So most of our troops will be here. At least they won't, because you can... Ooh, the other regions, you must be able to recruit the people there for militia, right? So as long as we're producing these goods somewhere, and then... I'm just thinking out loud now. Sorry if I kind of whittle on constantly. But obviously, in this region up here, we have iron deposit rich. So would it make more sense to have this area be the area that makes all the armor? Okay, so I've just been sat there thinking about it. What's the best thing to do? I'm quite happy keeping we have this anyway, but this is just a really good efficiency, so I'm quite happy to have that. I'm thinking this area, because we have the rich animal resource, we could go down this route and invest the rest of the points here. So that would give us a lot of meat, and it would also give us the leather. The forestry management, I mean, it's just another food source, isn't it? But potentially this, just for something to sell. And then when we go to the middle region, which we need to rename these to something more memorable, but when we go for that one can have pure farming. So we'll head into this direction for that one, and then the one that we're just in the process of claiming, I think we'll go this direction, and it just, I feel like, makes a little bit of sense. It'd be nice to have some of the trade logistics, but we just won't have the points at this stage in the game. And if 6 is the maximum, then yeah, we're pretty sort of backed into a corner with what we can do. So just taking a look at the granary, you can see we have the flour, which has obviously come from the windmill. I'm wondering if we say, well, no, you can't store this here any longer. Will they just take it straight to the communal oven? And the same with the grain. Do we say, nope, you can't store it here anymore, and it'll just go directly to there? Just try and cut out that middleman a little bit. I also just realised we can upgrade to a large granary. We're not doing too bad at the moment, so it's not an issue, but it's probably something worth doing. But let's have a try just with the flour first. So if we say no, what will they do? I'm assuming that just saves instantly. Yes, it does. So, was that 67 a second ago? I think it was. Let's see if we speed the game up. See if that lowers. Obviously, they're moving a lot of things around constantly, so potentially it may not happen instantly. No, there we go. I think it was this person here. Transporting flour, yes. And there we go. They're just going to instantly take it straight over to the oven. which currently has none at all. So it's just sat in there the whole time, where this could be baking bread. And yeah, it's just not a good way of running things. So I guess by that logic, if we go into here and say grain, nope. Hopefully, yeah, it's only got the one grain at the moment. Hopefully that'll make a huge difference. And we have claimed another region. Perfect. So I think all bar one, yep, there's just that region left. Now we don't have the 1,000 influence to claim that yet. I'm interested to find out if people try and capture some of our territory. There's nothing in them at the moment. I don't know how hostile he will be. We're not playing on a super difficulty, and I didn't change any of the settings, so it'll be interesting to see what happens once all the land is claimed. But I know he will go for that pretty quickly. And we're currently at 300, so that's a lot more influence that we need. So that's going to be a little bit of a problem, I guess. But we can work on that. And I was just sort of looking as we're coming towards summer now. What are we in? April. Yeah, so we're not too far away. You can see all the apple trees in this orchard have a blossom on them. So we'll definitely get a much bigger yield this season, I think, off the back of those. We're really struggling for food anyway. 10 months of food, 8 months of fuel. It's not too bad at all, is it? I can't complain. What do we? Bloomery. Yeah, so we're not doing anything in here currently. If we have a quick look up here, which one is it under? Because I'm useless at finding these things. Blocks. We don't have tools, stone, planks. We have an awful lot of spears and warbows. You know what I think? Can we stop their production? I think it's this. So that will stop them making any more bows. I mean, unless I want to trade them, which I could. We don't need any more of those. Spears, 25. I'm quite happy to let that continue on the assumption that we have the iron. Oh, we have the ore, so maybe we have a spare person. Yeah, I'll put someone in there. That will obviously cost me a little bit of fuel, but I have a lot of firewood. The issue is this building, so the next family that we have that are unassigned, I think we'll put in here just to kind of boost that a little bit. I believe, yeah, there's just the one person in there. Is this our weaver's workshop? Yep, finally that's coming together. Our forester's hut, are we doing okay for timber? Okay, we need to work on that in a second. I mean, we have plenty of trees, so clearly something is working there. We also have the logging camp over here, so I could potentially put someone in there to continue chopping the trees down. I think it was here, wasn't it? Because the fertility. Yeah. So we wanted to remove these trees. In fact, I'm going to plan that in now so I don't forget, because I will. In fact, I'm probably going to do it again anyway, because that's just the way I am. But we'll put that there. Do we have stable space 1 or 2? We'll order an ox to that, and we'll also we'll assign an ox to it as well. It makes a little bit of sense, doesn't it? So that is done. We were also trying to trade for where's he gone? Barley. So the question is, I was asking for 20. Do I have any? It would probably be in the granary, if anywhere. I don't see it in there. And I don't see it in here either. Okay, so we've probably not got any. The question is there, do I pay for the actual trade route? I mean, I could do. How much does it cost? 40. So after paying to establish a trade route, a dedicated free merchant will regularly visit. Thank you for saving right when I was reading. Visit your region to trade only the specific type of food. Go for it. Let's do it, because I want this one to come in a little bit more often. I could do the same with flax, but hopefully I'll be producing that soon. We may even take a look at that in the next video, actually. I think getting some farming things going on up here, because that'll be interesting to try. I've not done it before, so it should be fun. Just looking again at the fertility, we mentioned this earlier. You can now see it's all green, apart from this one patch for some very bizarre reason. Unless it was always that way and I just never realised. You can see the yellow patches here where the fertility is dropping. How are we doing here? So current yield is 74 in 139 days. The growth is at 73%. So not too bad at all. I cannot complain about that in the slightest. Is that our weaver's hut? Okay, that's almost done. Let's zoom in and have a quick watch. And there it is, perfect. And we probably have a little bit of wool lingering around as well. Will it be under here? So 6 wool, so not a lot. There's no like dire emergency. I put that in back to front, I don't know. It has a path leading out the back anyway. Because obviously we don't have a lot of sheep. Currently at 5. Did I set the maximum to 5 or 10? Let's have a, it's this building here, there we go. So trade, sheep. Obviously, so trade 10. So obviously I've got to be mindful of the money. I'm really struggling with the do I go for this or not, but I don't know. We'll have a proper think about that. So what do we need for the small town to get the next one? So we need some level 3s and 2 more level 2s. But we've got quite a bit to go. I don't fancy going for any level 3s. I don't even know if it will let me, to be fair, until I have ale. So not enough of wealth. Wonderful, okay. And not enough logs, so we definitely need to work on the logs. The wealth one's a little bit strange. Oh, yes, we don't. Okay. I'll be quiet. I think that's where we're trading, isn't it? So I've just made myself poor. Fair enough. Take that back. So I've just been sat here watching to see if it made a difference what we did when we said that in the granary you can no longer store grain and flour. Quite interestingly, the grain did make its way up to the windmill to the point that we have 46 flour over there. But the communal oven is still struggling, and we can see Lawrence here is transporting some flour, but it's not making its way as quick. So I would have thought with the 50 that are here, that would have come out of here quickly, but that's not happened yet. But I'm just wondering, at some point, will they come and collect that and bring it to here? Because when we switch to people, you can see everyone's doing various tasks. They're going around like transporting and doing what they should be doing. But there's no way of prioritizing a building. I think that would be really useful. Like just a little button to say increase priority, because I'd want them to have their goods move quicker. Just I guess you could call it a quality of life thing, but I think that'd be really useful. Okay, I thought we'd chuck our spare person into the weaver's workshop. We didn't have a lot of wool lingering around. We have 8, but it's something, and anything that will hopefully increase the approval rate. And if we just look at some level 2s, the tavern supply is the only thing that is upsetting these people. So we definitely need to get working on that. I don't know if we have... Oh, we do have some barley. Maybe this was a bad idea. Maybe we will take someone out of there, and we will... Actually, no. Pause right there. We'll leave them in. We'll put a malt house in. We won't, because we currently have no timber. What is going on? Oh my goodness. Do we have anyone over here? We don't. Right. So let's pause and think. There's the pause button. We don't need any flour currently. So we'll take someone out of the windmill. We'll put someone in the logging camp. There's something else we need to think about. Obviously it's May. So we're coming into summer. So crops grow, possible drought. But our wheat is 112 days away from being fully grown. But when we look here, I don't even know if it will take that long. This number seems to have jumped up quite a bit. So we have that. We also have, I think, an obscene amount of firewood. Yes. So I may just pinch someone from here temporarily. I know that will mess with the market stall, but it is what it is. We will put another person in the logging camp, because we can't do anything without logs, obviously. What about the saw pit? Where are we? We have one person in there. I guess we need that. We are building, so I'm not going to mess with that at all. The corpse pit is currently completely devoid of any citizens. And how are we doing over here? Oh, I was going to remove the person from here, or the family, but with only 3 left, I may as well just leave them in there to finish that off. And that will free us up an extra person. But I think that's a good place to leave this one. Until next time. Take care.